Hey there guys, this is going to be a full tutorial on the SQLMap tool, and I'm sure by the end of this video you will be familiar with this tool. So before that, I have already written a blog post on this SQLMap tool, and this blog post will be in the description box below. Check this also. So in this blog post you can see the examples I have given, and also I have explained how the command works. So firstly, let's see what is SQLMap. So basically SQLMap is a SQL injection vulnerability scanner, and it is a web application vulnerability scanner too. And also you can just pause the video and see what all the features it has got. And let's see, and if you want you can just take a look at all these stuffs. So let's directly go to the example. So firstly what we are doing is we are doing a GET request on the target. So the target I'm using here is this one. So I just got this, I installed this particular box from the Vuln Hub. I don't know what is the box name. So by end of this video, I'll be cracking this box. So let me go to the terminal. So firstly, to install this SQLMap, just enter apt get install SQLMap. So this is the command to install the SQLMap tool. And if this tool is not installed, you can just enter this command, and I'm sure that in every Debian machines this tool is pre-installed. So I'll just remove this. And firstly, let's see how to do a GET request on the target. So I'm just entering SQLMap -u, and I'm just entering, so it is already there. So yesterday I was just cracking this box, and I did. So I'm just entering the IP address. So I'm entering the admin /login.php. So I have found this particular box is running PHP. Using the nmap tool, I have found the service it is running. And also we are adding the question mark, and we are adding the ID is equal to 1. So basically if you enter this particular thing, when you go to the login.php, you can see the ID is equal to 1. You can just copy it and paste it in here. And I'm just entering the parameter I'm scanning. So the parameter I'm going to scan is for the ID. So I will just enter ID. And make sure you enter the double quote. So the ID should be inside the double quote. Let's give enter. So the interface looks something like this. So it says that testing connection to the target URL. So let's give enter. So the scan has started, and often you will be seeing some interactions with the SQLMap tool. So it says, do you want to reduce the number of requests? If you want, you can just give yes or no. You can just give capital Y or a small y, whatever. So in this place I will give small y. So the scan is finished, and over here in the scan type we should be concentrating on the yellow things, that is the warning and also the critical ones. So you must read what are these, and you should understand what is happening. Okay, so over here it says that get parameter ID does not seem to be injectable. So it is not injectable. Anyways, this is how to do a GET request on the target. Okay, let's see the next example. So the next example, we are doing a post request on the particular target. So I'm just going to copy this. So I'm just tired of entering this. I'll just paste it in here. And we should do some alternatives over here. So we need to enter minus data, minus data. And also we should add the double quote. Over here it is some other thing. And also we should add another double quote over here. And we should add minus DBS. So don't worry about this new words, I'll be explaining what it is. So firstly, SQLMap -u is for the URL you should enter, and minus data. So over here you could see that I have entered user is equal to admin and password is equal to admin, and I have written this inside the double quote. Okay, and minus DBS is for database enumeration. So basically I'm doing a password attack, and I'm doing just one password and one user ID attack. So basically this is how to do a database enumeration, the password attack. So I'm just giving enter, and let's wait for the results. So it's asked for the cookies, so I will be giving yes. And so it asks for the request, number of requests, so I will give yes. So over here it says that post parameter user does not seem to be injectable, and here's a tick basic tests show that post parameter password might not be injectable. So both the username and the password is not injectable. So anyways, this is how to do a post, I think the post, so this is how to do a post request scan. So I'll just give clear, and let's see the next example. And also let's see about this one. So over here you could see that I have entered SQLMap -r. So -r is basically you are specifying the directory. Okay, over here you could see the directory I have specified, and in this place I have entered this particular directory because in the previous example we have seen we have entered only one username and one password. But if you want to enter multiple usernames and password, so that you can just do a password spraying. So in that case you can just create a file, and inside that file you can add multiple usernames and passwords. So by this you can just spray the passwords, and you should make sure that you enter --dbs, and also make sure that the parameter you want to scan. So I have just entered -p, and I have entered the ID. Let's see the next example. So the next example is crawling the target. So basically crawling the target, when we talk about this, we should be thinking of other tools such as the derb buster, and the HTTT-RAG and the web HTTT-RAG. So these are my favorite tools, and I have made a video on all these tools, and these videos will be in the playlist, so check that also. So basically the derb and the derb buster crawls the directories, and it is not like more like crawling, it just finds the directories. Okay, but the web HTTT-RAG and the HTTT-RAG mirrors the target site. Okay, but comparing to the SQLMap crawling, the HTTT-RAG or web HTTT-RAG is the best according to me. Okay, but anyways, we will see how to crawl a target. So in this place I am just entering SQLMap -u, and I'll just enter a particular address. So in this place I am just entering this particular address, the site name, and you can also crawl any other site names you want. For example, you can just scan for this admin. So in this place I will just crawl for this particular login.php, and I'm just entering --crawl is equal to, and you can also add multiple numbers of crawling. So in this place, if you enter 1, the particular scan will just scan for one possible URL. So I'll just go with 100, and let's give enter, and it says do you want to check the sitemap? Let's give yes. And often in the SQLMap you will be seeing these interactions, so make sure you do concentration on these and make sure you enter the correct things. Okay, maximum you will be entering only the y or no. Okay, and it says that please enter number of threads. So let's go with 1, and 1 is very slow, so the threads can be from 1 to 5, and in later on examples we will be seeing about the threads also. So it is pretty much very slow. So let's give yes, and it asks for the thread. Let's give 5. So it says that starting 5 threads, which is pretty much very fast. So as you could see, the threads is very fast, which means the scan will be very fast. So as we see, as I entered in the command, we will be scanning for 100 possible URLs, and you want to normalize the crawling results. Let's give yes. So it says that processing with other tools, no, let's give no. So it says that do you want to test this URL? So suppose if you want to test this particular URL, you can just give y, no, or q. No means it will just move on to the next URL. So q means you are just quitting this. Okay, so in this place I will just give y, which is yes, and over here it is beautiful. So it says that do you want to exploit this SQL injection? So we could see the payload, and we could see all these stuffs. So let's give yes. So it says that SQL injection has already been detected against this particular IP address. So the IP address I am targeting is this one, and do you want to skip further test involving it? So let's give no. So in this place it has jumped to the next URL. So over here you could see that URL 2. So possibly what it is doing is we have scanned for 100 URLs, we have entered 100 ones, and it will be going on for until the 100 URLs are finished. Okay, so I'm just giving n, so I will just give q and exit. So instead of just entering manually all these ym, no or quit, you can just add the ---- batch command. So basically the ---- batch command autofills whatever it wants. Okay, let's give enter and see the magic. So over here you could see that I didn't enter the n and it autofills everything. Okay, so I didn't do anything, so it just autofills whatever things it wants. And please don't enter this ---- batch, because when you enter this particular command you will be missing most of the important informations. So enter this ---- batch when you are doing a standard SQL scan. That is, if you are using a GET request or a POST request, you can use this ---- batch option. So let's see the next command. So basically this is how to do crawling in the SQLMap. Let's see the next example, that is excluding a particular URL to the scan. So in most of the tools we will be seeing about this particular thing, how to exclude a particular URL to scan, excluding a URL. And so even in SQLMap it is. So I'm just entering HTTP and I'll be going with the keyword. Let me check the command again. So I'm just entering okay, I'll just entering crawl, CREWL -exclude is equal to, make sure you enter the quote, double quote. Okay, and inside this, if you want to enter, you need to enter the particular keyword. So whenever you do a scan, if you enter this particular command and if it sees this particular logout keyword, it will just skip that scan. Okay, so I'm just giving enter. So it says ask for all these nonsense, so I will be entering the ---- batch command. So what it does is, whenever it sees the logout keyword in any URL, it just skips that one. So anyways, this is how to skip a particular URL. And let's see the next example, guys. So the next example is proxyscan. So basically the proxyscan is for the anonymous scans, and there are two ways to use the proxyscan. One is enter proxy chains in front and enter the command you want. Okay, you can just enter SQLMap -u, whatever the URL you want. This is a way. And another way is just enter SQLMap. So I will just take all these stuffs and enter ---- batch, and also enter -proxy is equal to, and add the double quote. Inside that, let's add HTTP : make sure you enter the : // and localhost : 8080, and yeah, let's check it. So over here you could see that the localhost 8080, so this is where the proxies will be, and let's run this. So it automatically runs and it finds so there is an issue over here. It says that connection is refused. So recently I was working with the proxy config file. So if you're facing the same issue, you can just go to the Google and rectify the issues. Suppose if you know about the proxy chains, you can just go to the the particular config file, and I think the config file will be in the /etc directory. So check it, and what you need to do is go to the config file and change the IP addresses, and that's it. So basically over here you could see that the scan has run well. So let's see the next command. So the next example is the batch. So I'll teach you how does the batch works. So the batch automatically fills up whatever it wants by default. So the next is threads. We have seen about the threads. Once it asks for the threads, so the threads you can enter from 1 to 5 and not beyond it. So I'll be just entering the threads. So SQL, let me give clear SQLMap -u and enter the target, and let's add the batch also, and let's add --threads is equal to, let's specify how much we want. So I have entered, oh, so it says that no options are there. I think I made a spelling mistakes over here. So make sure the spellings are correct, guys. So the scan has started. So this is how to do, this is how to add the threads. So basically the threads are increasing and decreasing the speed of the scan. And let's see the next example. So the next example is scanning through Tor. So basically the proxy chains and Tor are the same. And suppose if you want to do a scan using the Tor network, you can just enter SQLMap. I will add this also. So you just need to add --Tor at the end. Okay, I'll be just entering. And it says that, I think, please make sure that you have Tor's service installed. So the Tor service and service are not installed. So I'll be talking about this video. I'll be talking about how to install the Tor service and set it up, and check that video. So make sure you give a like and subscribe so that you can see that video. So for namesake, I will be just keeping this particular one. So if you are interested in this, just go to YouTube and see how to set up the Tor network, the Tor service. Okay, and let's see the next example. So the next example is we are entering --risk. So the --risk is basically, it is setting the payloads. Yes, we are setting the payloads. So I'll be just entering -risk is equal to, and the risk you can enter from 1 to 3. So over here I have entered these things. So you could enter from 1 to 3, and by default the SQLMap will select the payload 1. So in this place we will be selecting the payload 2. So let's give enter. So now it has selected the payload 2, and we have found the same stuff as the previous results. So this is how to set the payload. Okay guys, so finally let's see the verbonos, and then we will be seeing about the database enumerating, and finally I will be showing you how to crack this. Okay, crack this box. Okay, so basically the verbonos is you are adding some, just we can just add -v, which is for verbonosity. Verbonosity means you can easily read what is happening. Okay, and we couldn't see much result as the before. We can see the same result as before. So I'm just entering -v, and I will enter manually. Yes, no. So we didn't see much information, but anyways the -v is for the verbonos, which will be giving some detailed information. And you can also set the verbonos from -v, that is from 1 to 6. So basically let's try the 6. So I will be just entering 6. So I'll just give yes. So over here we could see that the verbonos is playing its game. We can see all these informations in detailed format. That is in more detailed format. Yes, it is in more detailed format, guys. So I'll just give no and skip all these stuffs, and no, I'm going to quit it. So the verbonos is playing its game. So this is how to enter verbonos, and let's see the database enumerating. So this is where the game comes, and so I'll just enter this particular command. I'll just copy it, and I will explain what is going on in this particular command. So over here we can see that I have entered this particular URL, and when I was going through this URL, I found this URL is little bit vulnerable, and I've entered this particular command, that is --tables at the end. Once I enter this particular command, we can see it's table. So basically table means, let me show it where it is. So it is still loading. So it is loading the database names. Basically we can find the database. So let's wait for the database to load. So over here the database is loaded, and we can find the database information. So these are the database existing, and we can see the database photo block is over here. So I'm just entering --tables, and minus D. So I will check the commands again. Okay, I no need to enter this particular minus tables. So I'm just entering minus D. So as you could see, I have already entered this particular things. So I will just enter the minus D. Minus D is for the database, the short form of the database, and I'm entering the database name. So over here you could see the database name is photoblog. So I will remove all these unwanted stuffs, and over here I will add minus tables. So what we are doing is we are seeing any tables are existing in this particular database. So over here we are lucky that we have found 3 tables over here, and so 3 tables inside this particular database. So I'll be going with the users. So in the users we can find all these login information and the password information. So I'll be just entering minus D, so minus capital T for the tables, and let's enter users. So it is not working, I guess. So the user, let me check it again, users. So we couldn't find any useful informations, but anyways I will open the web browser. So I will close this particular web browser and let me open a web browser over here, and let me show you the login page of this particular target. And while the particular browser is loading, I will show you how to do the password cracking. We are just adding minus dump. Now we know that the table is minus users, that is the users. We are just entering the users over here. Sorry for the minus, lots of minuses. And the minus dump I have entered. Basically the dump is, it just dumps the passwords and database things. And let me go over here. So it says testing connections, and so over here we could see that hashes. Do you want to store hashes for a temporary? So I will just enter this particular target and open the login page so that you will see I'm cracking this particular box. How I crack this particular box, I will just enter this, copy it, and just paste it in here. So over here you could see the admin. I'm just clicking the admin page. I've already entered the admin login credentials. I will just remove it, and I will show you how to enter the usernames and password, crack the usernames and password before. And it says over here you could see the useful information fetching columns for table users, photo blog, and all these information. So it says that over here, do you want to store hashes to a temporary file for eventual further processing with other tools? So I don't want to save the hashes in a temporary file. And the SQLMap is a wonderful tool, and it cracks the hashes by itself, and it has got this amazing feature. So I will just give no. So it says that do you want to crack via dictionary based attack? So I will just give yes. So it is pretty much very faster, guys. So it says that the hash type is MD5 generic password. So over here we could see that it is having the MD5 generic password and the hash. And over here we could see the login name, the login usernames, and also the password over here. So I'm just going to enter this particular admin and also the P4SSWZ0ORD, I guess. I don't know whatever this is. So I'll just enter capital P4 SS capital W, so SS capital W and 0 RD. So where it is, so 0 RD. So let's give enter. So don't update. So the password is incorrect. So what is the problem? Let's check it. So I don't know what is the problem. Let's just paste it in here. Let's give login. So now we are in, guys. So it says that administration of the awesome photo blog. So let's go to the hacker. Now our picture is here. So we are in the admin page, and so this is how to do a database enumeration, and this is how to do a password cracking. So that's it about this particular tool, the SQLMap. And do check the blog post I have written, and everything is in the blog post. So that's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, make sure give a like and subscribe to our channel. See you next video, guys.